Hey, what's this photo all about? Planning to do something you can't tell your husband about. It's got George written on it. I confronted my wife Samantha with this, and to my surprise, she was brazen about it. My name is Keith. I'm 32. I work in sales at a travel agency. I married Samantha, the receptionist, 3 years ago after a relentless pursuit. She was my pride, a model-like wife, 5 years younger than me. But my job involved a lot of overtime and business trips, and gradually she seemed to grow dissatisfied. Eventually, I found out that my beloved wife had fallen for a young personal trainer. And there was a photo of the personal trainer and her, left out in the open on the table. I tried to wake her up, getting angry, persuading, talking things out. I thought I did everything I could, but Samantha wouldn't listen. To top it off, she snapped back, saying she didn't want an old man like me. So, we ended up getting a divorce. Knowing her true feelings, I struggled to recover. How did Samantha and I end up like this? Maybe she started to find life with me boring. Even after marriage, I was always busy with overtime and business trips. Essentially, Samantha lived like she was single. And without kids, there wasn't much housework needed. Above all, Samantha had little to no interest in household chores or supporting my work. Early on, she decided to get a part-time job at a clothing company and said, "Keith, I'm busy too, so let's do our own thing." Stunned, but feeling guilty for not being around much, I swallowed my opinions. Samantha went out to work part-time with vigor and was frequently away from home. Since we hadn't been blessed with children yet, I thought it was better than her being home alone. Her clothes and even her appearance began to change after she had been working part-time for a while. Short skirts, heavy makeup. Was this really just for ladies' nights out? My bag feeling proved right. Samantha had been lured out for drinks by her co-workers and ended up fascinated by a young personal trainer. It was too late when I realized. I found his business card after returning from a business trip. I pressed her, demanding, "Explain to me what's going on here." She retorted, "What do you mean? What's going on? You're always away, and living together isn't fun at all, so I'm just having fun on my own." Shocked, I reminded her, "We're married. You're my wife. You shouldn't be playing around like this." But her response was shocking. "Everyone said to choose a husband for his money. I'm young and pretty, and the thought of spending my life with an old man like you is horrifying." Hearing Samantha's true feelings was like a punch to the gut. I thought we were in love and got married, respecting her opinions and cherishing her as my wife. But the Samantha in front of me was like a stranger. To her, I must have been nothing more than an ATM for her to spend the time with the guy. We ended up getting a divorce by mutual agreement. No alimony was involved. Because unbeknownst to me, our bank account was drained. Samantha had poured everything into the guy, leaving our finances almost at zero. I felt empty even as I went through the divorce proceedings. Where did I go wrong? Should I have quit my job for one that let me spend more time with Samantha? Should I have bought more presents, said I love you more? Or should I have worked on my appearance, to be a man Samantha could be proud of? No matter how much I tried to figure it out, I, who had hardly any experience with women, just couldn't understand. Samantha was incredibly thoughtful and bright in personality. In our social group, she was the type everyone adored, and being with her always lifted my spirits. She was slim and model-like, the complete opposite of my average build, and always looked much younger than me. Samantha was undoubtedly the wife I was proud of. But then she called me an old man. While finalizing divorce procedures, I felt like I was branding my life with failure, and honestly, it got me down. Thus, as a man who lost his wife to a young man, I embarked on a life with a divorce under my belt. Honestly, my daily life didn't change much after the divorce. Samantha had always insisted I do my share of the housework, and with constant dining out, the kitchen stayed clean. But the room, devoid of Samantha's belongings, felt desolate, like a monochrome photo, reminding me of my newfound singleness. Unable to recover from the shock of divorce, I threw myself into work to forget Samantha. I eagerly took on sudden business trips and overtime. Then, a colleague named Emily, recently assigned to my department, said, "You'll flip if you keep pushing yourself like this." I used to be the same, placing a coffee on my desk. Her casual kindness meant the world to me, especially in my post-divorce gloom. I thanked her. "I really appreciate your thoughtfulness. Please feel free to ask me anything if you're unsure about the new department." Wanting to return the favor, I took on supporting her work. Turns out she was looking for someone approachable to ask questions. Emily and I started talking several times a day at work, and as we got comfortable, we began having lunch together. Our conversations over meals were surprisingly enjoyable. I loved traveling in spas, and shockingly, so did she. We started visiting popular spas on weekends together. Of course, separately for men and women, but having someone to dine with afterward was a real joy for a divorced man. We'd stop by a bar on the way back, cheerfully toasting. We indulged in drinks and food, liberating our work stress as if competing. Eventually, we began sharing more personal stories, naturally drifting into our pasts. I hesitated to talk about my previous marriage, but something made me want to confide in Emily. Actually, I was married before, but my wife fell for a young guy and left me. Said she didn't want to be with an old man like me. We got divorced just like that. To my surprise, Emily revealed I actually had a thing for a young guy in the past. The work targets were so tough, just like your ex-wife. I was speechless, and she said, "Don't worry about me, I've quit that." There was a moment I realized a guy was saying the same sweet things to another woman as he did to me. That woke me up, and luckily I didn't sink too deep. "I hope the other woman has also woken up by now," she shrugged playfully. Seeing her like that, I couldn't help but laugh. No one is 100% correct in life. We learn from our regrets and mistakes, moving forward step by step. Watching Emily, I thought of Samantha for the first time in a while. Our outings and sharing of pasts made Emily and me open up to each other, eventually becoming important partners in both work and life. 2 years after divorcing Samantha, I remarried, and it was to Emily. We had no fancy wedding or honeymoon, but I was content. I had learned from my last marriage that it is not the form of the marriage that is important, but the day-to-day content of married life. Having both failed once, we made an effort to support and appreciate each other. As working spouses, we could easily drift apart. So we made sure to have breakfast together every morning and kept communication going. It was also my way of making amends to my ex-wife, Samantha. I wanted to make Emily happy, the way I couldn't make Samantha. Finally, I could reflect calmly on my marriage with Samantha. On our first wedding anniversary with Emily, we had our ups and downs but managed to come this far together. I splurged on a reservation at an upscale French restaurant for the occasion. "Are you sure we should go somewhere so fancy? I'm so excited." Seeing my wife so happy made me truly joyful. We're both usually so busy with work that there's hardly any time to enjoy a leisurely meal. Together, we looked forward to savoring fine dining to our heart's content. It was supposed to be the perfect anniversary for Emily and me. We had reserved a private room and were relaxing with an aperitif as we waited for our meal to be served. Then, "Excuse me, I've brought the appetizer." The moment I saw the server bringing the dish, my body froze. "Is that Samantha?" I muttered in a barely audible whisper, and she, too, stood there in shock, holding the tray of appetizers. "Keith." As I tried to continue speaking to Samantha, Emily exclaimed in surprise, "Samantha, really?" She called out to her in the same manner I had. Why does my wife, Emily, know my ex-wife, Samantha? My mind was filled with question marks. Emily, Samantha, and I, none of us knew what to say, and we fell into silence. Samantha still looked young and beautiful, and the elegant uniform suited her well. Though she was surprised to see me, her expression froze even more upon seeing Emily with me. Then, with a strained voice, she said to Emily, "You're the one from that time." Samantha then looked back and forth between us with a look of disbelief. "I thought you had given up on George, and now you've run off with some rich old man." She threw these harsh words at Emily and me. Emily, the target of Samantha's attack, turned pale and fell silent. As I was about to retort on her behalf, Emily gestured to me to stop and said, "I chose Keith because he's always kind and treasures me, sees me as a woman, not just a client. I, who was so unfulfilled, have finally found a place where I can feel at peace. I understand the attraction to George, but leaving someone who truly cares for you is a foolish choice you've made." Of course, Samantha was furious at being lectured. "What are you talking about? You're just a loser who couldn't get George. I'm different from you," she retorted sharply, then slammed the appetizer onto the table and stormed out of the room. Stunned by Samantha's outburst, Emily and I quietly began to eat the appetizer. I then asked Emily, "Would you mind telling me how you and Samantha knew each other?" Emily hesitantly replied, "Well, Samantha and I were both financially supporting the same personal trainer, George. We spent a lot to him. When asked, we offered money so that he can open his own gym, but I overheard him telling Samantha the same thing he told me, that he wanted to be with me. That's when I woke up and was able to return to my true self." Ironically, it was his insincere words to Samantha that had also awakened Emily. From her behavior, it seemed Samantha had not yet woken up from her obsession with the trainer. I felt a concern for her, speaking little. Our first wedding anniversary with Emily, supposed to be a joyous occasion, had unexpectedly become a time to reflect on my past marriage. The course menu that followed was delicious, but predictably, Samantha didn't return to serve us. However, Samantha's hurtful remark about me being an old man reopened old wounds in my heart. I wondered inwardly if someone like me could really make anyone happy. Feeling downcast, when Emily asked, "You're not eating, is something wrong?" I replied with self-doubt, "Maybe if you weren't with someone like me, you wouldn't have to hear such awful things from Samantha on our anniversary. I'm sorry, our married life must seem so dull, right?" Emily shook her head softly and said, "I chose you, Keith, not some young flashy guy. You're genuine and substantial. Being here with you today is the happiest day of my life." Tears streaming down my face, I nodded in agreement. Grateful for having her in my life, we thoroughly enjoyed our meal and paid the bill. Before leaving, I approached the reception. "I'd like to thank the waitress who served us first today." Reluctantly emerging from the kitchen, Samantha listened as I said, "I've always wanted to apologize to you. I'm sorry for leaving you alone in the apartment, for refusing your home-cooked meals because of work, for not properly acknowledging your struggles. You must have felt out of place in our home. I regret not realizing that as your husband, but I'm sure someone will understand and appreciate you. Samantha, please find happiness this time." As I bowed deeply, I heard sobbing. Looking up, I saw Samantha crying like a child. And then, from behind me, I heard the sound of someone sniffling. Behind me, Emily was also weeping. Realizing my past mistakes and weaknesses through 2 marriages, I had finally expressed my long-held feelings to Samantha. Resolved not to make anyone cry again, Emily and I headed home. "Mom, is that all the stuff I'm taking to daycare?" I asked Emily, who was busy getting our child ready. Since then, Emily and I had been blessed with a child, and we were leading a busy life as working parents. Though I try hard in parenting, I'm often scolded by Emily for being unhelpful. But as a husband and father, I'm striving more than ever for my family. And Emily, no matter how busy, always makes sure to pack a lunch for me. It's my supportive wife and lovely child that keep me going. I'm determined to cherish Emily, who fell in love with me for who I am, for the rest of my life. Show me your ugly wife who's just right for you. Back in high school, a beautiful classmate used to harass me by calling me a nerd. Even now, she still picks on me, calling me ugly. I was honestly annoyed, being insulted by her about my precious girlfriend. I thought maybe it was time to set her straight. As I was thinking, someone tapped my shoulder. "Sorry, I kept you waiting." I turned around to see my beloved wife. The classmate's face changed upon seeing her. This marked the beginning of her self-inflicted downfall. I'm Mitch. I own a cafe restaurant. This cafe has been my dream since I was young. While small, our menu focuses on quality ingredients in every dish. It's now popular enough to be featured in magazines. I'm particular about our coffee beans. I even travel to source them directly, earning both disbelief from my friends and respect from people in the same busyness. I've also learned latte art, and recently won a competition, which I think shows my skill. Mitch, how's the cafe doing lately? It's going well. How about you? I'm doing well too. Can I visit your cafe sometime? Of course, we're looking forward to your visit. Thanks, I appreciate it. The success of my cafe is largely due to the support of my wife, Kay. Kay manages household chores alongside her busy job. Oh, what a beautiful flower. Yes, plants are soothing, and this one fits our home's ambience, so I couldn't resist buying it. Looks good, doesn't it? Yeah, I think it's great. Our home is well kept thanks to her. Kay's taste is exceptional, and her designs could easily go viral on social media. She's not only decorated our home, but also the cafe. Thanks to her, both have a refined look. I lack aesthetic sense, so I'm grateful for her advice. Your taste is really amazing. Thanks, it comes with the job. I can't thank you enough. I feel the same. However, despite appearing perfect, Kay has one fatal flaw. That's cooking. Mitch, the toast is ready. Thanks, let's put some slices of avocado on it, and then have it with homemade consommé soup. Well, that's amazing. I could never do that. My avocados always turn out bad, and the soup turns black. Kay has a fatal lack of talent in cooking. To this day, she can only make toast and a honeymoon salad. She used to try cooking for me in the past, but... Whoa, that's a lot of smoke. I thought frying an egg would be easy. Fried eggs, Kay, you're not supposed to cook them whole, and judging by this smoke, you didn't use oil, did you? Trying to make fried eggs, she put them in the pan without breaking and ended up almost causing a fire with a high heat. What's that loud noise? Sorry, I was trying to make boiled eggs. Did you put them in the microwave just like that? Yeah, sure, you can make boiled eggs in the microwave, but if you put them in whole, they'll explode. Or trying to make boiled eggs in the microwave and causing an explosion. Mitch, what happened this time? This. Sorry, what is this black liquid? It was supposed to be chicken noodle soup. When she tried making chicken noodle soup, it turned into a black liquid. I did what I could to salvage her cooking, but most of it was beyond my control. I'm just no good at cooking. She had given up on her own talent. Mitch, you're amazing. You can make such stylish and healthy dishes. Thanks, but Kay, you're amazing too. You may not be able to cook, but everything else is perfect. And thanks to you, our home is beautiful. I don't have your sense of style, so I couldn't put together such wonderful decor. Even if she can cook, I can make delicious and healthy dishes. I may not have a sense of style, but Kay makes our home beautiful. We support each other like this and live peacefully. Mitch, you've got a mail. Oh, is that so? Thanks. One day, an invitation to a high school reunion arrived for me. Oh no, really? The reunion committee consisted of high school peers, and the organizer was Ashley, a girl I never got along with. Come on, the atmosphere gets bad when losers like you are around, so go away. Ashley was a beauty pageant winner, but always looked down on others. I had no good impressions of her and tried to keep my distance. I've become somewhat stylish since becoming an adult, but I was an even less sophisticated boy in high school, often laughed at and called a loser. Hanging out with a loser again, that's the worst. Stay away from me as much as possible. I don't like it either. Look at the loser talking back, that's hilarious. And, due to some twist of fate, we were in the same class for 3 years with seats near each other, so I was constantly laughed at. Despite trying to keep my distance, she kept bothering me, and it was honestly tough. You're the one who keeps coming over. Just hang out with other girls and leave Mitch alone. My friends defended me, and that's why I could keep going to school for 3 years. Especially my best friend Kevin, who even stood up to Ashley's friends and talked back to her. What's wrong? You look troubled. It's about the high school reunion. Honestly, I didn't want to go to a reunion organized by Ashley and her entourage. But apart from them, I had good friendships with almost everyone else, and I especially wanted to catch up with Kevin after a long time. If you're unsure, why not attend? You don't have to talk to the organizers just because you go to the reunion. Encouraged by Kay, I finally decided to attend and let them know. I'll pick you up after the reunion, so feel free to have a few drinks. Kay said this with a smile, and I smiled back at her. Thanks, I'll go and enjoy myself, then. Jess, have fun. With her words of encouragement, I was looking forward to the day of the reunion. Hey, Mitch. There he is. Come over here, Mitch. Hey, long time no see, everyone. When I arrived at the restaurant venue on the day, several old male friends from high school greeted me. Of course, Kevin was among them. It's really been a long time, Mitch. You've been overseas, so it's been hard to meet. You got quite tanned. Yeah, Mitch, you've become quite stylish. I thought the same, Mitch, who had no interest in fashion. Becoming this stylish is something else. We all had changes, but once we started talking, it felt like old times. I forgot my worries about the organizers and was happy to reunite with old friends. Thanks to Kay's encouragement, I was genuinely glad I attended. Hello everyone, long time no see. The beauty pageant winner Ashley has arrived. Then Ashley, the organizer, appeared. Her loud voice and playful entrance drew everyone's attention in the venue. Her style was as flashy as ever, with bold makeup and flamboyant clothes. It was to the point of feeling almost garish. Nice to see you again, Ashley. As beautiful as ever. Several classmates, dressed similarly, gathered around her like an entourage. It's like Kim Kardashian and her enthusiastic fans. Kevin, that's insulting to Kim Kardashian. Alright, then it's more like a rafflesia and the insects that flock to it. Your comparisons are always so extreme. Our friends chuckled quietly at our conversation. Ashley glanced over at us. As always, you losers are so drab and bring down the mood. She started to look down on us. I bet you're still unimpressive. Your wives or girlfriends must be unattractive. If you even have any, you're probably still skulking around in the corners of society. Exactly. They've been sidelined at work, I guess. Or maybe unemployed recluses. Let's not get too close to them. They said whatever they wanted about us. I glanced at Kevin's frowning face. Unimpressive, wonder what they're looking at. Before criticizing others, they should check their own appearances. We're not even interested in you girls to begin with. Kevin muttered quietly, inaudible to them. Unlike in high school, where he would respond to anything and get glared at by girls, Kevin seemed to have grown up and was acting more maturely, After getting their fill of bad-mouthing us, Ashley and her group found a new target and left. They're finally gone. Always the same, just bad-mouthing others. Really, just all for show. Ashley indeed still had her glamorous beauty, which only seemed to grow more alluring with age. Look at this, my glamorous life I post on my social media. Her boasting was audible due to her loud talking. She uploaded her glamorous life on social media and even received projects as an influencer, which we heard about whether we wanted to or not. In fact, I have several patrons who support my lifestyle. Of course, with Ashley's beauty, that's to be expected. That's right. Thanks to them, I can live well without working hard like ordinary people. That's how she was talking. Honestly, for us who earn our keep through hard work, it didn't seem like anything to brag about. It sounds like a tale from another world. Really, it's a different world. We don't want any part of it. Right. Oh, by the way, I finally found that thing Kevin was talking about the other day. Hey, stop it. It's embarrassing if someone I know buys it. We were more interested in our own topics and continued to have a lively discussion. This is my fiancé. Wow, he's handsome. A real looker. Only someone like him is a match for me. Let's see your partner too. It's embarrassing to follow Ashley's act. Oh, he looks nice, doesn't he? Thanks. By the way, didn't you say you recently got a boyfriend? Yes. Well, I want to see him. Show us. Ashley and the others were showing off pictures of their boyfriends and fiancés, seemingly having a good time. Hey, let's call our husbands over. Why not? My guy said he'd come if I called. Really? Ashley's handsome fiancé is coming. Awesome. It seemed that Ashley's fiancé was also going to come. Speaking of which, do you guys have partners? Hearing their conversation, our topic also gradually shifted in that direction. I'm still single, but Mitch, you're married, right? Yeah. Really? Mitch is married. Yeah, we're both busy with work, and neither of us was interested in a big wedding. We just registered our marriage and had a small gathering with just our families. That's how it was, and look, you're wearing a ring. True. Congratulations, man. Thanks. My friends were surprised to know that I was married. Kevin knew because we had kept in touch after high school, but I hadn't had the chance to tell the others due to our busy lives. Huh, even a nerd like you got married. Our conversation must have reached Ashley and her group as they came over. Marrying a nerd like that, what kind of woman is she? She must have a bad taste in men. Probably some unfashionable woman who couldn't find anyone better than a nerd like him. Unaware of our disgusted faces, Ashley and her friends speculated and laughed about my wife. Definitely ugly. She must be a perfect match for a guy like you. A total loser. Ashley laughed loudly, drawing everyone's attention, while I struggled to contain my anger. Being insulted about my kind and beloved girlfriend by someone like her was infuriating. Ashley, you seem to be having quite a time. Tyler. Amidst the intense atmosphere, Ashley's much bragged about fiancé arrived. This is Tyler, my fiancé. He's a handsome entrepreneur, Ashley said, clinging to her fiancé's arm. He was indeed handsome, dressed in a suit that looked expensive. Wait, that face. While everyone was paying attention, I realized I knew him. Could it be Mitch? I remember now. You're Tyler. Oh, it was Tyler, the fiancé, who recognized me first. Mitch, is that you? I'm grateful for your help. He spoke to me politely. Likewise. Thank you, Tyler. I stood up and greeted him. Never thought I'd meet Mitch here. Come to think of it, you and my girlfriend are the same age. It's fate that we meet like this. Yes, truly. The world is surprisingly small. Hey, wait. You know this nerd? Ashley asked Tyler as we were talking amicably. Tyler's smile turned to anger at the word nerd. What's with that way of speaking? What do you mean? It's a fact. He's just a nerd, whispering in the corner. Don't joke. You're ridiculing Mitch like that. Why do you always talk down to people? What? Just answer my question. Mitch owns the property my shop is in. He owns a lot of real estate around here. Tyler revealed my identity, angered by how I was mocked. In fact, my family is wealthy, and I own several properties myself. Owning my own shop was a dream come true, but managing all of them was challenging. So, I rented them out as tenancies. Tyler was one of the restaurateurs managing one of these properties. He was polite and earnest. A person I trusted and heard was doing well in business. No way. There's no way a nerd like him could be a wealthy landowner. Even after Tyler explained, Ashley refused to believe it. You really don't believe anything that's not in your favor. I'm sorry, Mitch. Tyler sighed and apologized to me. He wasn't at fault, but this was one of the reasons I respected him. Hey, what do we do? It kind of seems true, doesn't it? Ashley's entourage whispered, looking at us. Even if he owns real estate, he's still an unattractive nerd, right? His wife must be unattractive too. Got a photo? Show us your ugly wife, suitable for you. Enough, stop it. Come on, show us your ugly wife who matches you. Tyler tried to stop her, but Ashley was out of control. Honestly, I didn't want to introduce my wife to such a loud woman. But this might be the perfect chance to prove her wrong. As I was thinking this, a woman approached me. Sorry, I kept you waiting. It was my wife, Kay, who tapped my shoulder. Kay, you came. Yes, I arrived early. I was thinking of waiting outside, but then I came in. Wearing sunglasses and a hat, her slender figure was unmistakably not just anybody. Hey, show your face. Seemingly impatient with our casual conversation, Ashley snatched Kay's hat and sunglasses. Oh, no way. Isn't that the model? Popular model Claire. When Kay's face was revealed, cheers erupted from the crowd. Yes, Kay was the popular model, Claire. She was a celebrity seen almost daily on TV, known for her unpretentious personality, healthy style, and great fashion sense, making her a regular on various shows. This is my wife, Kay. Nice to meet you. I'm Kay, modeling under the name Claire. We turned to Ashley with a smile. The real Claire. Wow, amazing. I'm a fan. Can I get an autograph? She's so beautiful. As the crowd cheered for Kay's appearance, Ashley was speechless and seemed stunned. Ashley, long time no see. Do you remember me? Kay asked Ashley with a smile still on her face. What? Ashley frowned at Kay's question. Her expression showed she didn't understand. My maiden name is Parker, Kay Parker. Parker. Forgot. The classmate you bullied into changing schools. No way. Ashley's face turned paler as she recalled. It seems she finally remembered. I remembered what Kay had told me before. I was in middle school with Ashley, you know. Kay and Ashley were in the same middle school. But in the first year, Ashley started bullying her. My personal items would go missing all the time. I carried everything with me every day. There were baseless rumors spread about my parents being criminals, or us being poor. How awful. She has had a warped mind since middle school. Yes, indeed. I looked very different back then. Kay was not in her growth phase at the time, shorter and plumper, with a face full of acne. With long bangs and a plain appearance, she was constantly ridiculed by Ashley. Unable to endure the daily torment of being called ugly and laughed at, she decided to change schools after consulting with her parents. She transferred to another school before the second year of middle school. Ashley continued to bully other targets even after Kay left. Maybe she felt better about herself by putting down others she thought they were inferior to her. That must have been tough if you were her target. After that, Ashley surrounded herself with followers and had her pick of boyfriends. Her unfounded confidence had made her even more arrogant now. I've worked hard since then. It didn't go well at first, but I wanted to prove myself to you. Kay conveyed this to the now silent Ashley. But then she negated it. That was a mistake, she negated. You're not even worth proving anything to. Character shows an appearance, after all. Instead of her usual pleasant smile, Kay now looked down on Ashley with a derisive grin. What do you mean by that? Just as I said, it's obvious you're hiding your rough skin under makeup. Kay firmly told Ashley, who tried to retort. You might be spending money, but your unhealthy habits show in your body. Shapewear alone can hide your figure. Well, social media might showcase your glamorous life, but it's clear it's all superficial. The content is shallow. One critique after another followed. And indeed, they were all true, so the crowd began to laugh. Typical of a popular model. Absolutely right. Ashley, probably feeling looked down upon for the first time in her life, turned bright red with anger. Don't mess with me. Stop it. Seeing Ashley lunge at Kay, I instinctively moved to shield her. Right then, the sound of a camera shutter clicked. Looking over, I saw Kevin aiming his camera at Ashley's terrible face. What are you taking pictures of? Behave yourself. As I and Tyler restrained still agitated Ashley, Kevin continued to photograph her. I'm a professional photographer, you know, so I got the shot perfectly. After graduating from college, Kevin followed his dream and became a globe-trotting photographer. He's now selling his photo books, and they often sell out everywhere. If you keep this up, I'll upload these photos to your social media. The true face of the self-proclaimed beautiful celeb. My pictures will surely get everyone's attention. I don't care. Go ahead, Claire or whatever, and you, the real estate owner, get over yourselves and fail for all. Threatened by Kevin, Ashley hurled a final insult and left. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for the disturbance. Tyler apologized with an embarrassed look. Since he didn't seem to follow her, it was clear what would become of the two. The reunion ended prematurely, perhaps due to the awkwardness in the presence of the famous Claire. Did I go too far? Kay pondered on our way back. Not at all, I honestly felt refreshed. Really, but the reunion ended because of it. It's okay. The friends I'm close with exchanged contacts, and we decided to have a mini reunion at Tyler's place. Then that's good. Yeah, and I was angry too, for you being insulted. Thanks for speaking up for me. You're welcome. After getting out of the car, we walked hand in hand towards our home. I watched Kay smile beside me and remembered how we met. I'm Kay, new to your class starting today. Nice to meet you. Kay transferred to my middle school when we were in the 8th grade. I'm Mitch. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. You don't have your textbooks yet, right? Let's share during class. Thank you. We ended up sitting next to each other by chance, and I shared my textbook with her during class. That was the beginning, and slowly we started talking more and more. Gradually, we became closer and developed a good friendship. And then, on the day of our graduation, we exchanged contact information and graduated. At that time, it was just a friendly relationship, and we naturally drifted apart. Welcome. Hello. I reunited with her when I opened my own cafe. Struggling with attracting customers to my starkly simple shop, I was at my wit's end. Are you Mitch by any chance? Oh, are you Kay? Kay came in as a customer at a time like that. Delighted by this unexpected reunion, we shared various stories with each other. By then, Kay had already started working as a model. She had grown taller but was still full-figured and struggled with skin problems. After that, she became a regular at my cafe. I hope I'm not overstepping, but There are no customers, right? Actually, concerned about the consistently empty cafe, Kay listened as I explained everything without holding back. Mitch. What is it? I might be able to help a little. Following her advice, I remodeled the cafe, and gradually more customers started coming. In turn, I also began to worry about Kay's dietary habits. Knowing she couldn't cook and often ate carelessly, I started offering her healthy, vegetable-rich meals to help improve her diet. Hey, Mitch, I heard this kind of food is good. Yeah, I can make this, let's try it. Together, we researched meals beneficial for beauty. With her efforts, Kay rapidly became more beautiful. As a result, her modeling work increased, and she is now a popular model. We positively influenced each other, leading to success in our respective fields. Kay, you like this cat character too? Yes, I do. We had many common interests and our hobbies matched. When we shared our past experiences, we realized we had both been harassed by the same person and sympathized with each other. Our relationship deepened, and after I asked her out, we started dating, leading to marriage a few years later. We still advise each other and live happily together. I think meeting Kay again that day was fate. Oh, why bring that up all of a sudden? Kay laughed happily at my words, likely feeling the same. It was a strange connection, both being harassed by the same person, but I wanted to cherish this bond. Holding her warm hand, I felt strongly about it. Afterward, Ashley's social media was being flamed. Kevin didn't post the photo after all, but the story of the reunion spread among other classmates. Well, insulting a popular model like Kay and antagonizing me and Kevin, both somewhat known in our industries, was bound to backfire. It was inevitable. Ashley, with her angry, almost demon-like expression, became an internet meme, and she could no longer claim to be an influencer. Later, at a small reunion at Tyler's place, he shared the details. I broke up with Ashley. She didn't like it, but there were already things bothering me, so it was a good opportunity. That must have been tough for you, Tyler. It's nothing compared to what you and Kay went through. Ashley remained unrepentant, always blaming Kay and me. I don't care about being a popular model and owning real estate. They are just a nerd and a fatso getting above their station. It's all their fault, not mine. Continuing to speak this way, Ashley exhausted Tyler's patience. Actually, I didn't upload the photo, but I did talk about the reunion in a recent interview. Kevin, with a mischievous grin, said, his photographs are especially popular among the wealthy. After the interview about the reunion, Ashley's patrons also drifted away, and she tearfully returned to her parents' home. Never having worked before, what she plans to do now is anyone's guess. One can only hope her parents will re-educate her. Well, it's no longer our concern, I guess. That's right. Enough about that woman. Tell us more about your wife. Yeah, we really want to hear it. Okay, I will. Kay, my wife, became a bit of a topic when Ashley's social media blew up. She revealed that Ashley was a classmate of mine in high school and also went to the same middle school as Ashley. She hadn't spoken about the bullying she endured, but other classmates revealed it, and she garnered sympathy instead. Now she's even more popular as someone who overcame her past. I want to make a movie about Kay. A friend who is a director mentioned this, and a film titled Becoming Claire, the popular model, starring Kay herself, was shot. The movie was a big hit, making Kay a well-known figure of the time. Meanwhile, my cafe is also doing well. After the movie revealed my existence, fans of Kay would ask, "Are you her husband?" I can't disclose personal information, I reply, though it's an open secret among the fans. Thanks to Kay asking on social media not to make a fuss, they warmly watch over us. Of course, there are also loyal fans of my specialty coffee, so I'm having fulfilling days. Welcome back, Kay. I'm home. I'm tired. Good job today. Dinner's ready in a bit. Thanks, I'm looking forward to it. Kay visits the cafe after closing. When she gets home late, I serve her a vitamin-rich meal I prepared for her. Everything you cook is so delicious, Mitch. Better than any gourmet food. Thanks. Her happy smile while eating is irreplaceable to me. I may never forgive Ashley, but there's no denying that she played a role in deepening the bond between my wife and me. But I'm grateful she brought Kay and me closer. It seems every past leads to the present, not all bad after all. With these thoughts, I smiled back at the happily laughing Kay.